正解。
Rebirth of the Malicious Empress of Military Lineage. Chapter 89. No route. For such a big thing that happened in the Ding capital, the entire city was up abuzz with the topic of the case of the extermination of the entire household of the Prince Yu residents. The rumors grew bigger like a snowball accumulating snow, and the more the rumors spread out, the more outrageous they became. There were thousands of positions and hundreds of attitudes with so many different types of conjectures. Some people suspected that the extermination of the entire household of Prince Yu was done by the enemy of the Prince Yu's consort who just married in a fit of anger, send the entire household to the grave because of a beauty. Such a rumor was very alluring, as if adding a trace of charming color to the brutal truth. Such rumors like this were found everywhere, and when one heard it, one may not have any thoughts, but in the big river of rumors, there was one that was alarming. The summary of the rumor was that the matter of the extermination of the entire household of Prince Yu residents overnight came from the Shen family. As the reason to why the general's residence was to do that, the waters were too deep and each officials would think themselves. Those rumors that were spoken up front only brought ridicule and sneers to Shen King and her family, but these sinister rumors' only intention was to push the Shen residents out to everyone. The entire household of Prince Yu was exterminated so thoroughly that even a single animal was not spared. But the newly married bride was left behind. What kind of ability and possibility did the new bride had to make the other person spare her life, unless she was originally involved? If it was the Shen family, then everything would naturally make sense. But why would the Shen family oppose Prince Yu? Perhaps they were not happy about this marriage, but as one went in deeper to explore, with the currently different undercurrent forces in the court, who knows if the Shen family was incited by others or was trying to say something. These ordinary folks are not about to see it, but the old seniors in the official circles would not let it go. In a moment, the entire Shen family were pushed to where the winds and waves were the fiercest. Early in the morning, Beilu and Xuanzang came over with snacks for Shen Miao to eat, as the entire household of Shen residents had no mood to be bothered of other matters. That even the 3 meals from the kitchens were carelessly done. Other than Rong Jingtang's side, everyone else all dealt with themselves, so Beilu and Xuanzang simply went out to buy snacks, hoping that the sweet broth would help Shen Miao warm her body when she eats. After having breakfast, Shen Miao also finished grooming and looked at her appearance in the mirror and slightly frowned before causally speaking to Gu Yu. Go and bring that fox fur muffler that eldest brother sent over. Ah, young lady thought about wearing that muffler. Gu Yu searched for the muffler in a chest and wanted to put it on Shen Miao, but she stopped her. I will do it myself. The muffler was made of a white-bodied fox fur and there was not a single mixed fur found on it. It was hunted by Shen Kaiyu in the northwestern mountain range. Initially he saw that the fur was precious, so he got it made into an elaborate muffler for Shen Miao, but she previously did not like to wear it, so it was placed at the bottom of the chest. One did not know the reason, but Shen Miao suddenly remembered it, which made Gu Yu somewhat happy, as it was after all a beautiful fur, and to place it at the bottom of the chest without seeing the light of day would make one feel sorry about it. When Shen Miao wore the muffler, Gu Yu praised, the muffler around young lady's neck looks really good as it highlights one's fairness. It also looks nice and warm. Really good. Shen Miao's eyes hung down as her hands gently brushed against the soft fur, but she was thinking of the bruising around her neck when she looked at the mirror, as that was the trace that Zi Jingxing left when he choked her. This person did not hesitate at all. She did not notice it yesterday, but it was particularly obvious today. Even though all the collars of winter clothes were high, if one was not careful enough and let others see, one feared that Shen Xin and Luo Zuyan would not easily let it go. It was better to have one matter less than one additional problem, so she tightened the muffler. Placing down the bronze mirror in her hand, Shen Miao opened the door and walked out, coincidentally seeing Shen Kaiyu standing in the courtyard instructing the soldier by his side. Shen Kaiyu's guards all came from the army and were different from the ordinary guards, as they had more of a valiant air. Seeing Shen Miao, Shen Kaiyu said a few more words to the soldier before turning around to her and smiled. Younger sister, what happened? Shen Miao asked. Usually in the early morning, Shen Kaiyu would not be shaken by thunder as he stood in the courtyard to practice spears and swords. The best thing about the west courtyard was this empty area in the courtyard. Previously Shen Kaiyu and Shen Xin loved to engage in body combat in this courtyard, and occasionally, according to the atmosphere, Luo Zuyan would also join. These days Shen Miao was also used to seeing Shen Kaiyu practicing martial arts when she opened the door. But today there was an unprecedented lack of action, which naturally meant that something had happened. Shen Kaiyu laughed twice before saying, "Nothing. Why is younger sister up so early? Why not sleep a little more?" With the way he tried to change the conversation topic, Shen Miao did not even blink and responded, "It is about the matter about eldest sister and the Shen family." Shen Kaiyu quickly coughed and pulled Shen Miao towards the room. Once in the room, he dismissed the servants and closed the door before looking at Shen Miao. "Younger sister, these conversation better not be said outside." "What exactly happened?" Shen Kaiyu scratched his head. "It is not a big matter, just leave it to father, mother and me. These days do not go out and do not care about this matter." He was vague. Most likely he wanted to deceive Shen Miao. But if Shen Kaiyu was able to fool Shen Miao, then she would not be able to survive in the Shen family. She looked unblinkingly at Shen Kaiyu. "Alright eldest brother, you need not hide it from me. It is about the matter of the extermination of Prince Yu entire household, and others are suspicious of eldest sister and now started to be suspicious of the Shen family." Shen Kaiyu was surprised for a moment before feeling powerless in his heart. He felt increasingly unable to have the feeling that an older brother should have in front of Shen Miao, as she knew everything. First he was scared that she would be bullied when she was stupid, and now that she was intelligent, one felt helpless. Seeing Shen Kaiyu not speaking, Shen Miao continued, "Eldest brother is worrying about this thing, younger sister." Shen Kaiyu seriously said, "You are still young and do not understand about the matters in court. Even though the matter looked easy, but there will be people who slander behind the back, and if one was not careful the Shen family would be implicated." He looked at Shen Miao and hesitated for a moment before asking hesitantly, "Younger sister, the case of Prince Yu residence, are you aware of it?" When he spoke it out, he immediately replied his own question. It is assumed that younger sister is not aware of it. Younger sister is an unmarried young lady. How could one have such an ability? Ever since Shen Miao told Shen Kaiyu of the plan to scheme that the second household and Prince Yu had on her, Shen Kaiyu was unable to swallow it down. If it was not for Shen Miao not letting him tell their parents and also forcing him not to act rashly, one was afraid that Shen Kaiyu would have replied with that anger in his heart and take revenge for Shen Miao. From the beginning to the end, Shen Miao told Shen Kaiyu clearly that she had a method to handle everything, and the events that happened next was as if the second household was in an extremely bad luck, to keep continuously having fortune turning its back on them. Shen Kaiyu was already very surprised at the discovery of Shen King pregnancy during the returning banquet, and later the marriage to Prince Yu residence was contributed single-handedly by Shen Miao. But this time, the entire Prince Yu residence was exterminated. If there was Shen Miao's part in it, Shen Kaiyu only felt some chill in his heart. One had to know that to make the entire Prince of first-rank residence disappear silently from this world, even if Shen Xin were to take action, a lot of energy and effort was required. Shen Miao was a delicate and gentle little young lady. How could it be? But the more one think it was not possible, the more Shen Kaiyu's intuition tells him that there was enmity between Prince Yu residence and Shen Miao, and now with their outcome today, what if Shen Miao pushed the waves and added to the billows? Shen Miao took a look at Shen Kaiyu and sighed before saying, "Eldest brother suspect I did it?" No, number, younger sister, how could I doubt you? You are a little young lady. If you have such an ability like this, other would laugh their teeth out when they heard it. Shen Kaiyu quickly refuted for fear of annoying Shen Miao. Shen Miao could not help but give a slight sigh in her heart when she saw his cautious gaze landing on her. She could not tell Shen Kaiyu the truth, as all the people of the first household of the Shen family had noble and benevolent characters and were honest and loyal. If they knew that such malicious methods were arranged by her, their heart would be very painful. She could only lie to Shen Kaiyu, so Shen Miao gently smiled. I definitely do not have this kind of ability, so eldest brother do not need to be suspicious of me. It is just that the matter that eldest brother is worrying about, in fact need to worry at all. Shen Kaiyu looked at Shen Miao, and unconsciously when he faced her, the conversation had some meaning of inquiry. Why does younger sister think so? The people in the world are not fools. How can a few rumors be able to convict someone? If one were to truly convict, then there would be 12,000 evidences. Moreover, what relationship does eldest sister have with our first household? Father and mother are not in the residence most of the year, so even if the dirty waters are splashed, they would not be able to reach us here. Even if the situation at present is 100 times more complicated, it would not need us to be worried about. Naturally, there will be able and efficient people who will resolve these problems. Able and efficient people? Shen Kaiyu was puzzled. Who is that? Able and efficient people? Shen Kaiyu was puzzled. Who is that? The voice hardly landed when they heard Bailu loudly speaking. Second young master, why are you here? You see. Shen Miao turned back and a smile fleeted in her eyes. The able and efficient person has come. Shen Kaiyu's eyes turned, and in 2 or 3 steps he had reached in front and opened the door, and sure enough, Shen Yuan was standing outside. Shen Yuan had always placed importance on one's appearance but looked a bit haggard today, most likely because he was up the entire night. As compared to the act that was put on a few days ago, the look that he gave to these siblings was unconcealed dark. He said, "Fifth younger sister, I have something to say to you alone." "My younger sister has no words to say to you." Shen Kaiyu stood in front of Shen Miao to block and deliberately emphasized on the 3 words, "my younger sister." "There is no harm, eldest brother." Shen Miao said, "It happens to be that I also have something to say to second older brother." "Younger sister," Shen Kaiyu said anxiously, and almost said the words of "that thing is not a good person." Shen Miao patted Shen Kaiyu's arm. "Do not worry. If you cannot feel at ease, then stand at the doors to guard." "Then I will guard at the door," Shen Kaiyu quickly said. The 2 siblings' conduct made Shen Yuan's expression turn green. Previously, no matter how much Shen Kaiyu was uncaring toward him, on the surface he would still be amiable. However, this time, it was as if a pin was against an on. Shen Yuan's gaze landed on Shen Miao. There were so many matters that would have gone well if things followed according as planned, but it had deviated from the planned route so much that it could not be rounded up. This was all because of Shen Miao. She was then the biggest variable of the Shen family. "Fifth younger sister, follow me in." Shen Yuan coldly glanced at Shen Kaiyu. "Eldest brother, please guard by the door." Finishing, he took the lead and stepped into the room. Under everyone's worried eyes, Shen Miao also walked in. After the doors were slowly closed, Shen Miao turned back and saw Shen Yuan's gloomy look. "You did it." He had an affirmative tone that he did not even bother sound her out at all. Shen Miao gently smiled. "Which matter is second older brother talking about? The matter of exterminating the entire household of the prince of first-rank residence, or the matter of the spreading rumors? Which one was not done by you?" Shen Yuan sneered. "I actually looked down on you." One fear that second older brother had attached too much importance to me. Shen Miao did not care. "I do not have such an ability to be able to make such a calamity happen and still be able to retreat without harm." "Oh?" Shen Yuan sized her up before speaking. "Now are you living happily?" "Mouth is on others' body, and I do not care about what others say. Since second older brother insisted upon it, I am also too lazy to explain, since you would not believe." "Is not second older brother here to denounce one publicly for one's crimes?" Shen Yuan endured and tolerated. The young female's smile was as light as a breeze and her lips curled up to that of a ridicule. and her eyes were as clear as water, reflecting him in a sorry condition. He was prideful and conceited, but now was suffering from the girl's action. Naturally he was very unhappy in his heart. However, since the matter has reached to such a point, it was indeed that he had underestimated the enemy. Are you not afraid of implicating the Shen family with your actions? Like this, eldest Bo's entire family would not be well too. Shen Yuan ferocious said. Hearing those words, it was like Shen Miao had heard a funny joke, as at the moment she looked at Shen Yuan full of smiles still until Shen Yuan could not tolerate it. She then blandly said, I did not do anything. In addition, second older brother's words are just too strange. Even if the matter involved the Shen family, what does it got to do with my first household? She lightly and casually highlighted. My parents and older brother are in the northwest region in the entire year, and you cannot expect to say that I, a little young lady, is able to make the decision of the first household. Even if the Shen family is really involved, second brother, at least the first household can be innocently extracted. Shen Yuan on the contrary sucked in a lump of cold air. It is not that he did not think to that layer, but when she said those words, he wanted nothing more than to say that Shen Miao did not understand the matters of the court. No matter how smart and cunning Shen Miao was, that was only in the confines of the inner courtyard, since the court was the world of men, and who would want to analyze the situation for Shen Miao, who was always in the Shen residence? Shen Gui, Shen Wan, one would laugh their teeth off. But at present, with Shen Miao's sarcastic words, it could clearly indicate that she seemed to understand this situation better than anyone else. So you long have plans at the back? Shen Yuan's expression changed and he sneered. It seems that your first household is ready to take action? We never had the leisurely heart to worry about other people's matter. Shen Miao remained calm and composed as she looked at him, but it is second Shu and third Shu who had to now give a good explanation. But the most worried should be you, second older brother. She shook her head and said in a sorry tone, you just returned back to the capital to take office and to encounter such a matter. This is a living block for second older brother's future. She deliberately said it with such cadence, mostly likely because of hanging out with Shenzhen for the past few days. She had learned how to anger one to death without a change of emotion. It made Shen Yuan so angry that his fist was balled up tightly. Shen Miao suddenly turned over and touched her soft fur before gently smiling. But seeing that everyone's surname is Shen, I have an idea which can solve the urgent situation. Fifth younger sister's solution, I dare not use. Shen Yuan stared at her. Once one is not careful, one's life would be gone before noticing. Second older brother jokes. How could I be that scary? This idea was sincerely thought out for you all. But thinking that second older brother is so smart, one must have thought about it. Even though Shen residence is already implicated, it would be alright as long as the Shen family can come out of it. Second older also know that rumors are not real. It is just that when they are spread out for too long, it would make one suspicious. So before the rumors would spread more, make it as a passing rumor. As to how to turn it to a passing rumor, one have to let eldest sister clarify it. Shen Miao looked out of the window and saw that Shen Kaiyu was anxiously holding a spear, as he squatted under a tree and looked towards this room from afar. She smiled faintly. I think that the most powerful way to quell disturbances is the price of life. You. Shen Yuan suddenly raised a fist but stopped at the top of her head. He stared at Shen Miao and said, at such an age you have a heart as malicious as snakes and scorpions. Fifth younger sister, you are the first of such person I have seen in my life. Likewise. There was a pleased look that flashed in Shen Miao's eyes as she asked, you guess if eldest sister is willing to volunteer to quell the disturbances for second older brother's future? Her smile was warm. It may be assumed that she would be willing. After all, you all are real blood family. Shen Miao paused before suddenly shaking her head. Not correct. One think that eldest sister would not be willing. Eldest sister is one who cherish herself, so second older brother would need to suffer the loss of the future, but eldest sister would need to pay with her life. Shen Miao, you will not be lucky the next time. Shen Yuan was gnashing his teeth and his tone seemed to want to swallow Shen Miao down. He suddenly understood why in every mention of Shen Miao, Ren Wanyan would hate so crazily. Because the opponent was an out-and-out hateful person. One do not know if I would be lucky every time. Shen Miao looked towards him, but second older brother, you now have no way out. With a hong sound, Shen Yuan kicked the doors open and left abruptly without turning back. His actions made Shen Kaiyu's heart anxious and he rushed into the room without a second word, and only calmed down after seeing Shen Miao safe and sound. He asked curiously, "What did you say to him? How did he become that angry?" "Oh, most likely feeling helpless and self-blame upon seeing his younger sister in jail." Shen Miao also picked up a cloak and left without turning back. When Shen Kaiyu saw that, he asked, "Younger sister want to go out? Eldest sister is in jail." "As a sister, one have to go and take a look." Shen Miao gently smiled, after all, one is family. For such a big event happening in the Ding capital, if Feng's Yan pawnshop did not know about the matter, it would then be strange. One fear that if Bei Zhaosheng's ancestors were aware of it, they would jump out of their coffins to admonish them. In the Linjian pagoda, Hong Ling placed the delicate pastries on the table and set the teacups before silently retreating. Ji Yushu picked one piece of a snack and took a bite before spitting it out. "What kind of thing is this? It is horrible to eat." After saying so, he shyly looked towards Zi Jingxing, third Zi brother. "Do lend me your chef for a few days." Zi Jingxing gave him a concise and comprehensive word, "Get lost." Zhao Yang drank tea as he spoke. "Now that the entire capital is talking about Prince of first-rank residence, you still have the heart to eat snacks." "Ji Yushu, you are really admirable." "No need to admire me." Ji Yushu chicly adjusted his collar. "I have been so outstanding all these while. But what does the prince residence's matter got to do with me? Why can I not eat snacks?" "Do not forget," the Chen brothers mentioned before taking action, "that the news was spread out by the Feng's Yan pawnshop." Zhao Yang reminded, "What assassination and rebellion? Your news creation is really not small at all." Ji Yushu blew up when he heard it. That person who created the news was Shen Miao, and one did not see her being too agitated to sit or stand or not eat any snacks. "I heard that early this morning she even went to the prison to take a look at Shen King." "See? This is then called heart like a ceramic glaze," as one faced on calmly. "If I was Shen King, I would have been angry to death." Zi Jingxing smiled and he nipped a snack up to eat. Most probably the taste was not to his liking. He slightly frowned as he put the remaining half down and no longer ate. "How could you compare them?" Zhao Yang said breezily. "One fear that the fifth Shen young lady's courage is able to pierce the heavens. One need to know that to be able to stab our third Zi older brother and still able to escape unharmed. She is the first one I meet." "What?" Ji Yushu shouted and looked towards Zi Jingxing, third older brother. "You actually got stabbed?" Zi Jingxing glared at Zhao Yang. "Is it that you want to return?" Zhao Yang immediately sat upright and still, "I spoke nonsense just now." But it was evident that Ji Yushu had found an interesting news and kept pursuing Zi Jingxing energetically. "How did she stab you? With a sword?" "Third older brother, you did not avoid her at all, so her moves must have been very fast, and at the end managed to withdraw without harm." "Heavens! Third older brother, you cannot beat her?" Zi Jingxing finally could no longer endure. "Shut up. Her skills are this good and her appearance is also not bad. I suddenly feel that young lady Xiao Yao could not be compared to her." "Ah, third older brother, can you help me to think of a way to win her favor? I find that it is better to bring this kind of young lady back home the soonest." Ji Yushu continued to be obsessed. "One more sentence and you will go back with Zhao Yang," Zi Jingxing said in an expressionless face. Ji Yushu finally closed his mouth bitterly. Zhao Yang moved his fan and changed the topic of conversation. "But with such a big move from Shen Miao, why do I feel that the matter of the prince residence would not end?" "It will not end it," Ji Yushu said. "The people are all dead. Why will not ended? But speaking of which, I also felt a bit strange. Without rhyme or reason, why did Shen young lady need others to spread such rumors around? Is she not afraid of implicating the entire Shen family? Others rush to make their relationship clear, so why is she finding trouble for herself? Have you seen a fisherman not continue fishing after a big fish is caught? Zi Jingxing swept a glance at him and had an interested smile. It is originally 1 round against 1 round. What she planned did not end at the result of the prince residence. At the other side, in Kai Yunyuan of the Shen family, Shen Yuan seemed to be somewhat dragging his feet back to the room. When Ren Wanyun saw him, she immediately went up and asked, full of hope, "Your Honor, what is the matter?" Shen Yuan shook his head. "It is somewhat difficult. Your Honor, you must save King Er." Ren Wanyun's tears suddenly flew down. As these days she had been washing her face with tears, her eyes were so swollen that they were somewhat scary. Furthermore, she did not bother to clean herself up, and thus her body was emitting a strange smell. Shen Yuan moved away without a word, and Ren Wanyun grabbed onto his arm. "She is your younger sister. You must save her. King Er is so pitiful. She is innocent and would have been very scared when she was arrested. We are not by her side, and only you, as a brother, can save her." As she said that, tears and spits sprayed onto Shen Yuan's body. Shen Yuan felt anguish in his heart, and when he saw Ren Wanyun's attitude, the annoyance in his heart increased. He said, "I know." He then turned to return to the room. When Ren Wanyun saw that, she became anxious and held back Shen Yuan. "Your Honor, how could you return back to the room? Should you not go to the government office to put things in order, or go and seek the emperor's help? You are so intelligent and know quite a lot of people in the court, thus can definitely help your younger sister. Is it that you need money? Mother will go get it for you now." "Mother." Shen Yuan fought the irritation in his heart before saying, "At present, I am unable to do any help in the government office. Do not anyhow stir trouble." "I stir trouble?" Ren Wanyun was surprised for a moment before screaming loudly, "I am saving your younger sister. There is not a good person in this residence. Your father does not have a conscience and only know how to mix with that vixen. How would he care about the life and death of us mother and daughter? Now even you do not want to care about your younger sister. You also want to learn from your father? I raised you up with so much effort, and this is how you repay me." "Shen Yuan, your father does not have a conscience. You are also one without conscience." The more Ren Wanyun spoke, the louder she got. Now she was already somewhat crazy and could not be agitated anymore. One did not know which of Shen Yuan's words provoked her that made her go crazy like a madwoman. Not only scolding and blaming, Ren Wanyun even pushed out Shen Yuan. With all her scolding and screaming, where was the appearance of a dignified and wealthy Furin that she previously had? It was like seeing a shrew from a common small family. Shen Yuan suddenly felt tired. Shen Miao's words kept ringing in his ears over and over again. He initially had such great future prospects, and now upon his return to the capital, he should be soaring like an eagle from the start. He would depend on a just monarch's support and become a famous prime minister in this generation and step everyone under his feet, and everyone's gaze will be looking up upon him. But now, what was this? His mother has become a shrew and his father was weak and useless, that even the younger sister he had that could help roll the carpet in his career had become a prisoner. All of these became his stumbling blocks. Even though his blood relatives were important, but was not his future prospects important too? He secretly became Fu Ziyuyi's people since many years ago, and took office outside so as to plan for a better future upon the return to the capital. Who knew that such a thing would have happened? What Shen Miao said was correct. Rumors were considered rumors and could not be real, but if they were to spread out fiercely and heard by the Heavens family, then even if Fu Ziyuyi were to value him heavily, he would not dare to touch him due to fear. Shen Miao had placed 2 roads in front of him. One was blood relatives, another was future prospects. But, in some sense, he really had no way out. Shen Yuan looked at Ren Wanyun and calmly spoke, "Even if mother does not care about me, can it be that one can also be reckless with younger brothers?"